What's up guys, it's Captain Rich Productions 72 back with a review of the set 8096 Emperor Palpatine Shuttle, originally released in the summer of 2010. And I'm reviewing this set as part of a wider project I'm doing this year in 2025. I want to review as many of the Revenge of the Sith sets as possible. And over the next coming weeks, the only reviews you guys will be getting are going to be Revenge of the Sith. To name a few that I'm planning on doing: the Grievous chase, the original Turbo Tank, Darth Vader's transformation, the original version, the Clone Walker from 2005, just naming some of the ones I'm looking at. But we're starting off the project with this Forgotten set, and this is a brilliant set from back in the day. I mean, just look, it's got that brilliant Captain Rex on the box. Look at the Mustafar going behind. That is one hell of a box, and as you can see, it's one of them old school kind of shiny boxes, back when like even the boxes on Lego sets felt premium. Hell, they even did that with the battle packs back in the day, made them feel really cool. But really nice box art, as you can see. I just can't get enough. It's one of my favourite boxes. Like, who knows, maybe there'll be a top 10 favourite Lego boxes video. Probably not. But anyway, we've got Rex up there. We've got a feature in this set, which I will point out. That scene does not take place in the back of the shuttle, as you well know, but it's kind of cool they threw it in there anyway, rather than just a boring interior. You got your minifigures over here: Emperor Palpatine, Anakin Skywalker, Clone Pilot, 21B Medical Droid. But this is a pretty cool set, very nostalgic one. Let's have a look at the back of this box. So on the back of the box, and something that we just don't get anymore that I love showing off, is back when they used to advertise other sets that were out that year. We've got the Grievous Starfighter, the Slave 1, and the Turbo Tank. I've reviewed the Turbo Tank, I think. I don't own the Slave 1. The Grievous, will review that set once I'm kind of done this whole Revenge of the Sith thing I'm doing. Really cool view of the set. And fun little fact is you can take this back bit off to make access easier. In fact, they even show that on the box that it has been removed. I know it's pretty cool because that Mustafar box art, brilliant. So going in order of the box, our first minifigure is Emperor Palpatine himself. And this is the Palpatine from my era when I got into Lego Star Wars. And you know, he's changed a couple times since, but I think the reason this one was in the set was, one, it's a really good minifigure. But second, I think it was because the Death Star had come out a couple years before. That's set 8. That is set 10188. I think it was just easier just to throw him in this set, but pretty cool looking Palpatine. Looks really menacing, got them yellow eyes, just kind of focusing on those. Really nice looking. No back print, no double-sided head. It's not something that we're really doing on Palpatines. But really cool minifigure. The only difference between this one and the one, the Death Star, this one has a lightsaber rather than lightning, and this is before they started giving him the golden hilt, which started in the set Palpatine's Arrest, released in 2012. Let's go on to my favourite minifigure in this set, Anakin Skywalker. Also wielding a red lightsaber, we have Anakin Skywalker, and this is one of 3 versions we've had over the years, or at least as of filming this review, they've not brought out another one, of Anakin after his duel with Obi-Wan. We've got the original one from 2005, and then we've got one in 2017, which I'll flash up on the screen here so you can see the comparison. This is the one that I always like the most because it's the one I remember having as a kid. This one is my favourite, just that angry look, the angry expression. It's like a cooler version of the heads they were using on Darth Vader's in that era. And I suppose it would work, and it just looks amazing. This is one of my favourite minifigures of all time. This is definitely my top 10. Love the printing on this one, just looks, those destroyed Jedi robes, the kind of flesh just stick. This is just a brilliant minifigure. And let's move on to a minifigure that I have some thoughts on. Could have been swapped, or there could have been an additional. And that is the pilot included. So it's just a clone pilot. Makes me think of the V-Wing kind of pilots a bit more. And something that puzzled me is they actually made a special pilot of this. Now this could be the source accurate pilot to the shuttle, fair enough. But in this scene in Revenge of the Sith, I'm surprised Lego didn't go this route, seeing as they could have done it at the time. They could have either just used the generic pilot that you see in the ARC 170 from that year, the one that wasn't Captain Jag. You could have, and this is something I kind of just realised while filming. So at the time, in 2010, in the Swamp Speeder, there was the very last use of that EP3 kind of pilot helmet, or sorry, clone helmet, that we had got in 2005. Very last use of it. And at the time, they had not long retired that set, the AT-AP. So, I'm kind of surprised we didn't get shock troopers instead of this and just had them double as pilots. Seeing as you do see shock troopers in that scene in the movie. But pretty cool minifigure nonetheless. Pretty cool thing about it, that is a really menacing head. Throw that back on, just give you a look around the back. Kind of more or less just your basic pilot, but here's a really cool minifigure. So this is the 21B Medical Droid. This one's pretty cool. Just I don't know, there's something about this minifigure I really like. And a fun little fact for you, in a Hoth Echo Base set, released the year after this in 2011, we got one with light grey arms and light blue, because everyone got a good guy medical droid and a bad guy medical droid, which is pretty cool. That top bit is one molded piece, this has a battle droid arms and legs. I think it's that kind of special piece just to be a different type of arm, which is still pretty cool. Now let's get into the shuttle itself. And here it is, Palpatine's shuttle. This is a very sizable build, really do like it. And one thing I want to quickly do, this is something, because I've only recently bought this, something I've always wanted to do, let's quickly put it next to the 2009 Republic Attack Shuttle, which I think this set is even cooler than. And here they are together. So the Republic Attack Shuttle does seem to be a bit bigger, has more chunkier wings and a bit of a bigger body. But I like, one cool thing the Palpatine Shuttle does over this is landing gear. That one from 09 just has like static landing gear, nothing special. But the one from 2010 has special kind of sled-esque landing gear that we will show off throughout this review. So let's jump into the shuttle. So the shuttle itself is a very pleasing build, looks really great, very accurate to the source material, and fun fact, there's no micro version of this that I'm aware of or could find, but it is the same class of shuttle as the Havoc Marauder, which is an Omicron attack shuttle, I think is how you say it. And, you know, this is one of my favourite sets. It's one of those ones I actually wanted to buy back. I actually had this one as a kid, so one of my favourite ones to go repurchase. And, you know, let's take a look at that cockpit, because that is a pretty cool and well-designed cockpit. So here's the cockpit. So those are stickers there. And I thought this cockpit maybe consist of maybe, you know, 20 pieces. Considering those look like big bits, but there's so much little bits of engineering that go into it. So it does lift up like so, which is quite good considering this fin does not stop or hinder it in any way. And, you know, looking inside, you do get a control panel, and it's a very Lego City-esque looking panel. You got one of those green chairs, which give off 80OT vibes, because that had all those chairs in it. I think maybe the 2009 Tantive has them as well. Some of those weird things in Lego Star Wars. So you can take your co-pilot like so. And this is something that we definitely would... I miss on modern Lego Star Wars sets, right? Getting full-size cockpits that hold minifigures properly now feels like a luxury. He sits in there. I did kind of muck his helmet up there, but it's pretty good. Coming up the front here, you do get these cannons, which can kind of swivel a bit. I'm not sure if that's really something they're intended to do, but... not the camera there. But it's definitely something that they can do. Now, the landing gear is definitely something I want to show off on this set. So we're going to come out a bit here. The landing gear on this one, like I said, that 09 Attack Shuttle, which is a really cool set, one of the more iconic Clone Wars sets, is good. But this one, when it comes to shuttles, it just one of the best for landing gear. So right now, it is in flight mode, but we can take these bits down here like so, slide them, and it kind of just elevates the shuttle just that bit more. In fact, I had them up so the shuttle would fit in one shot, or as close as, but pretty cool landing gear. And when you want to take off, you simply just push these bits back and you're good to go. Now, the wings are pretty cool. So the wings on this one do have a pretty cool wingspan. They even have a gap in them that I think just adds more to it. And, you know, that is it with the wings out. Now, you can hold it from this fin, as I'm doing, because there's a little bit of technic inner working that lets you do that. But I can put my hand under here. But you can actually grip the landing gear and it kind of makes for more kind of swooshable kind of experience. I did kind of hit that off the base plate there. Coming around the sides, you can see that kind of working for the wings. On the back, it's pretty cool. So at the back, we get these really nice engines here. And we get this gun that has quite a bit of motion to it, just the way it is built. It's kind of hard to show it's built, but it's not like a ball joint. It's kind of separate. Here is part of the hinge for the interior, which we're going to get into in a second. But before I just show you, that is it landed from the back. But the interior is something else on this one. So interior access can be found here at the front. Now, it's kind of hard to show. Push these down, it might make it easier. So you got these little hinge clips here, right? And you put your finger under and pop it out at the bottom. It does that on both sides. And for the best access, you can take the whole thing right off, like I showed you earlier, or something they actually advertise on the box. And you're going to pop this pin out here, put these wings down. Whole unit just lifts right off. You can get an idea of the inner workings of that. And you have access to the interior. So this is the feature this set is kind of known for. They could have went for a boring interior with just some chairs or whatever, but They decided to recreate a scene that didn't actually happen on the shuttle, which is Anakin becoming Vader. So the way it works is, there's a few things we'll do. We'll work up to that feature. You can take your minifigures. So we've got these little 2 bits here, which are lightsaber storage, which is something nice. I love a set when we get storage for the lightsabers. It's just brilliant. Slot those in like so. Perfect. That one appears to have come out. That can happen with these. I will also show off, you get 2 of those chairs, which you could use for Palpatine. I won't be doing that because it bends the capes. You can take your medical droid and put him here. Looks great. And you know, you can have Palpatine kind of overseeing the surgery, just standing there. And take Anakin. But first we're going to take the helmet. So you can see that bit slides back, it's kind of self-explanatory. Take the Darth Vader helmet, which is the old version, because this is a 2010 set. I'm going to slot that in there. Now, I have tried this feature a couple times. I don't really remember it working as a kid. I tried it the other day as an adult. I still don't think it works perfectly, but you get this bench thing here. You put Anakin down on it. You know, you can have the medical droid working away on him or whatever. And you're meant to take these 2 Technic bits at the back, and I'll be so annoyed if this works on a review, because it never worked once. You might push the helmet on, but I actually flicked the helmet past the camera, as you saw. We will reload and try that one again. You're going to lie them down. Grab these 2 forks. Fork white pieces. Do you know what? Okay, that annoys me that worked there. But, you know, it's meant to create that iconic scene where he becomes Vader. Yes, of course, you get the battle damage Anakin, but, you know, I'd rather that than an actual Darth Vader figure. Because they could have just done that, which I feel like they might do now the way Lego is with their stuff. But, yeah, that is the iconic feature. And let's move into the instructions on this set. So, surprisingly, or maybe unsurprisingly, this set doesn't just have 1 instruction booklet. It has 2. And of course they reflect the box, but there's something really cool in the back of these. So instruction booklet 1 kind of more or less just takes you to almost a complete build, really. The only thing you don't do in instruction booklet 1 is really just the roof and the fin and kind of those like top walls. But and in booklet 2 has something really cool. It also really takes you to the end of the build. But you know, this is something that I love about the old set. So of course on this page it's, you know, you get your features that I've already shown off to you. But on this page, it's just all that art from back in 2010 is just perfect. You know, you get the full kind of wave of sets here. So you've got the Archon 70 going up against these Tri-Droids, which looks brilliant. You get the Clone Turbo Tank, which back in the adverts they show Grievous fighting with this thing, with the Plo Koon Starfighter. Grievous Starfighter and Turbo Tank looks brilliant. And I think yep, there's more on this page. You get an ad for the video game coming fall 2010, and it's the Clone Wars game, along with an ad for Prince of Persia, which is something I never actually got into. So the ultimate question is, 15 years after the release, and God, I feel old, is this set worth buying? 100%. I thought when I'd said I wanted to get the set that it was going to be $130, $140 minimum for a good used copy with all the minifigures and parts. I got this thing, instructions, box, the lot, and by the way, this set has no stickers in it. Oh, sorry, I just contradicted myself. It has no stickers on the front. Like, silly me. I got this for $65 off eBay, and that was kind of roughly what the average price of these were going for. So it's not only a really cool set, it's one that you can pick up if you're into buying used Lego sets rather than sealed. Like, I think this one's still like $150 or $140 sealed. This one is not one of those ones that's worth its weight in gold. And look at the minifigures, you get that classic Palpatine, you get a really cool Anakin. Go buy like medical droid or decent figures. I think this build's pretty good. I 100% recommend this. So, I'll see you guys in the next video, which will actually be the Clone Army 2025 edition. See you there.